Next question is, can you guys give dating advice for someone in their early 20s? What do you not like about Ravi, and what does Ravi not like about you? You wanna go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Alrighty, hello everyone. As
guys.
you can see, I've got Ravi on my channel. We haven't done a video in a while, hey?
I know,
together.
I know, and it's freezing.
It's freezing. Yeah, we've got our blanket here, so we're nice and warm. And we're going to go through your questions because you guys sent through some questions over on my Instagram, and we were meant to actually eat something while doing this, but we're going to Europe in 2 weeks and we are shredding. We're trying to shred.
Trying to is the key word here.
Yeah, so we're not gonna, I mean, some of the suggestions that you guys did send through for what we should eat was like KFC, spicy Korean noodles, a lot of KFC options because I think people know that we like KFC.
I freaking love KFC.
Yeah, so I mean, we're not gonna do KFC. We're just gonna answer your questions and yeah, let's go through them because there were quite a few.
And I actually haven't seen the questions, so I'm
Yes.
trying to peek over, but we'll do this naturally and see what comes up.
Yes, so we've got a lot of like, you know, money related questions, self-confidence, and a lot of couple and relationship type of questions. So
Okay.
I'm very excited. Now, I wanted to answer this question because a few people asked this question around buying a property.
I come onto your channel and then only to talk about property.
Oh, for people that don't know, by the way, this is Ravi. He's my partner. He's a buyer's agent and he helps me purchase my investment properties as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
as well as like a bunch of other
And
clients.
other people's as well, not just mine.
So yeah, you can definitely check out my channel. It's Personal Finance with Ravi Sharma. I'm sure we've done a couple of videos on your channel. I think we've done a few on my channel as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want any tips around what's happening in property, you can go check it out there. But we'll answer this question anyway.
That was a self-plug. I forgot to
Yeah.
plug
I
your
got to do it
channel.
myself. You know, it's the hustle these days.
Okay, so the first question that someone asked, and a few people asked, is with a $100,000 salary, am I able to afford a $800,000 house? It's like average sort of price of a house, maybe.
Yeah,
On
well,
the
look,
lower
I think
side.
it comes down to more so what your expenses are and what your living situation looks like. You know, for someone making 100K, if they're also renting a place for, say, $1,000 a week, you're probably not going to be able to have the borrowing capacity for that. But if you're someone that's making 100K and then living with parents and you're not paying board or anything like that, then I think it is possible. But the interest rates are increasing, right?
Yeah.
And they've been increasing for a while. So I think that has affected borrowing capacities across the board. Interest rates increase. That means more cost to service the loan. So I don't think it's possible. But again, have a chat with your broker or a bank lending specialist, and I think it'll help.
Cool, awesome. Now, next question is, how would you build confidence in yourself? How do you build confidence in yourself?
Okay, it's a good question. I think for me, I really went through this time where insecurity was at its max during like the later years of high school, and then getting into uni, I think I just opened up a lot more. And to build confidence, I suppose it was just trying to sort of read as much as you could, because you see a lot of people that are like really confident, and we may come across that in our videos as well, but we've both had those moments in our lives where confidence wasn't peaking or anything like that, and there's a lot of insecurities that people have, including ourselves. And so when you see that, you get demotivated because you're like, oh my God, I'm not like that. And that sort of does the opposite. So I would say stay off social media and watch what other people are doing. And I would actually focus on, going internal. So, really trying to figure out what those demons are and reach out for help. Like psychologists exist for a reason. So there's nothing wrong with it. Just like you go to the doctor to get a blood test, go and see someone because, having someone help you with your own thoughts is so crucial, and that's how I would go about it. How would you do it?
I think for me, I obviously did struggle with confidence growing up. I still do to some extent. I have major insecurities regarding a few things. And for me, what really worked was to just take small steps. So for example, I don't like public speaking. I don't like, this is funny because, I'm public speaking, but I'm talking to a camera. So For
There's
me,
no public.
There's no public speaking, yeah, here. But that was something I struggled with for a long time. And I think just taking small steps to getting there. So for example, if you're at like university, like just put yourself out there, put your hand up that you want to maybe, take lead, or you want to, run the first part of the speech and open it up. But what worked for me was having this YouTube channel as well, talking. And another thing for me was having a stutter, because I didn't used to talk much. So I just felt that my stutter was really evident and people could tell that I had a stutter. I mean, maybe you guys can't tell now because I've been doing this for quite some time, but just, I think, small steps.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, we live together, and so knowing over the last couple of years how your communication has increased, like improved, I think it's to do with YouTube. I think for me as well, I would say that if anyone sort of wants to practice these things, get a YouTube, get a camera, even if you use your thing, record yourself and never put it up if you don't want to. But it just helps with, sort of connecting those, muscles, right? From what you're thinking to what you're saying.
Yeah. And this is what people also say as well, when you go for interviews and you have like video interviews, record yourself answering some questions or sit in front of a mirror and then watch yourself and see like what your body language is like, see if you're coming across as confident or, whether you're slouching, just paying attention to those things once you record yourself, I think makes a big difference. But let's move on to the next question. The next question is, where are you traveling to in Europe and for how many days?
Okay, so Europe, I'm not sure when you're putting this up, but Europe's only 13 days away now. I'm not counting. I haven't been counting since we got below 100. We're very much excited for it.
So excited.
So we go from here, we go straight to Abu Dhabi, we do Dubai, and then we go to London.
Yeah.
And then from there we go...
spend a week in London because I'm so excited, because I don't know if you guys know, I think I have mentioned on my channel, I was actually meant to go to London last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, sorry. 2 years ago.
Before COVID. And I was going to go there, work there, do risk management there. But yeah, that didn't obviously happen. But yeah, we're going to London. I'm very excited for that. And then we're going to Amsterdam for 2 days, and then Berlin. And then we're doing Greece. Yes, I think Greece and Italy are probably where we spent the most time. So Greece, I think we're doing about 7 or 8 days.
Yeah.
And then Italy is about 8 or 9 days.
Yeah.
And then we go across to Paris, finish up there for a couple of days, go to London, and then come back to Sydney.
Yeah, so all in all, it's like 5.5 weeks.
Yeah, I think it was like 36 nights or something like that.
Yeah. Next question is, how do you guys manage money as a couple?
I think we did a video on your channel.
Yeah, we did. We did do a YouTube video, so I will link it up there and also in the description box as well. How do we manage money? Now, it's been the same since we did it last time when we spoke about it. Nothing's really changed. All it is that we sort of divide all the expenses in half. Right? But it's not like you pay for something, then I can't pay for something, or it's just like he either takes care of the rent and then I take care of everything else. So it doesn't get confusing that way. We
also don't have like, the same bank account. And we also not the type of people that sort of keep tabs on things. So if I take, I had my card on me or my phone's there, I pay for dinner. But then if I don't take my phone or it's dead, and then she'll pay for lunch and dinner, and we don't really sit there and, sort of cross-analyze who spent what. That just works for us. Yeah,
when we did move in together, we actually did do that.
Yep.
We did do a monthly budget, and then we used to do it that way. But I think after a while, it's sort of, when you know that you're with the person that you're gonna sort of be with for quite some time, I feel like it doesn't really make sense to do, the 5 cents transfer, 50 cents here and there.
Honestly, like
it doesn't matter.
I don't have time for that sort of stuff. Just spend how we want to spend, and then we keep an overarching sort of idea of what we're spending. But it's more like collectively as a team, what are we doing? What do we want? If it's for the house, if it's eating out, whatever. So
next question is, can you guys give dating advice for someone in their early 20s?
Okay. Well, okay, so given the fact that we've been together now for 5 years, coming up in the next month, so we'll actually be celebrating our 5 years together in Europe, which is awesome. But given that we've been together for 5 years, previous to this, I was in a relationship, a serious relationship, and then before that, was dating and whatnot. So I can probably talk a little bit more than you could, but I would say that it's changed so much from when I was early 20s. Like, that was like 8 or 9 years ago. I'm 29
there
now.
There were no apps back then. We have no idea of how to use the apps.
I still remember that I was at uni and someone goes, oh, like, this person Snapchatted me. And I was like, oh, show me. And they're like, oh, well, it's gone. And I was like, what the hell is that? So, I feel like I'm a dinosaur, but I'm not as well because I'm only 29. But
only.
But yeah, there was no apps, and I think there's a lot more of, the online dating sort of stuff. And I think we've gotten past, the stigma around meeting someone online, because the reality is for the last 2 years, when you were in lockdowns, where else were you meeting people?
Exactly.
So I think in terms of dating advice, I think it's more so look at what you like, and then you've got to go out there and figure out what you like in people as well. So you as a person know what your dislikes are, likes are. You've got to have the same thing. And that might mean that you go on dates that you thought, okay, I would never go on a date with this person, but you might learn something in that conversation. So I would say, go out there, meet people. At the end of the day, we're humans. We want that human connection. So go out there, have those conversations. You might learn something, but I've found that the people around us, as well as, even growing up, the people that sort of lacked the confidence, as well as didn't go out there and meet someone they're really truly happy with, are the ones that didn't give it a chance. They sort of go, oh, well, that person is of this ethnicity, or they're this tall or this short. They're the ones that now are sort of going, oh shit, like I should have tried all those things. Now I'm sort of finding a life partner, but you don't have any experience.
Yeah, and I think as well, we need to sort of get rid of the idea that, oh, you're going to find your Prince Charming, he's going to be your first crush is going to be the person that you get married to. I don't think anything like that is, I mean, it could happen, but there's a very rare chance that it does. So I think, going on, multiple dates, if that's what it means for you to find that ultimate partner that you're looking for, know what you want, and I just think stay true to yourself as well. You don't want someone that you're dating to change you as a person, because then that does not end well.
I mean, it's so hard, like trying to fake it for a long time. And imagine going on a date with someone that, it's like an interview. They put their best foot forward, and then you realize after 2 or 3 dates, they're not that sort of person. So help yourself by just being yourself. Obviously put in the effort, and be open to learning something new, because if you're going out there thinking, oh, my first date is going to be the person that's going to become my future husband or my future wife,
no way.
It's not going to work out. I mean, our story at a very small level is like, we knew of each other. We had interacted for a year before we even got into a relationship. There was a lot of stuff that I was dealing with. There was stuff that you were dealing with. And, when we ultimately got together, we knew what we wanted and what we didn't want. So, yeah.
Yeah, good advice.
Yeah.
Next question. Where did you guys meet?
We met at Argyle. So for anyone that doesn't know, I was promoting at a nightclub in Sydney. And so I was there pretty much every single week, just engaging the crowd and whatnot. And I came across you and your friends.
I popped up.
Yep, and that was it. I think I stopped going to Argyle after that.
Like, actually, funny.
Yeah, and it was interesting because I went to Argyle probably 9 weeks in a row. And it was just like, I wasn't doing anything, so I thought, hey, I'll go out there, see what people are liking, not liking, making friends as well. And then on the 9th week, I said, you know what, I'm sort of over this. I'm probably not going to go back for a long time or a while, because the business was running, the promotion stuff was working already. And on the 9th week is when I bumped into Sanjo. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then I changed his life for the rest of his life.
Yep, so did I to you, but yeah.
Okay. Next question. What did your parents have to say about your potential partners when you first introduced each other? I will go first because I know my parents are going to be watching this for sure. Now, it was interesting because let's think about it in terms of my parents' point of view. I'm here introducing Ravi to my parents, and back then, Ravi was a DJ.
Yep, I was DJing full-time and promoting at nightclubs full-time.
Yeah, and I mean, look, that's amazing in itself. But given that I'm, coming from an Indian background, my parents are quite conservative. That did not sit well with my parents. And
you were also like, where were you? At KPMG at the time?
I was at KPMG.
So you were a grad there, and so, I can see it from their point of view as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, DJ income not quite stable, you know, you worry as a parent. I totally get their point of view. So it was definitely very, very, what's the word?
It was challenging.
Challenging, yes.
Challenging.
It was a challenging encounter, but over time they sort of warmed up to the idea and they were fine. And then obviously you left that industry DJing, and then you sort of, you know, got into the buyer's agency, which I think is a little bit more accepted as a profession. I don't know, property like.
Yeah, look, I think the other part to it as well was that I had already done the grad stuff. I had already worked in corporate. I had done conveyancing. I was doing mortgage broking at the time as well. And so going eventually into real estate as well, I knew that there was a plan. You know, I wasn't just some drop kick that was sort of going, hey, on the weekend I'm going to party up or whatever.
Yeah.
There was a plan, but I couldn't exactly.
I knew that plan.
You knew the plan.
I knew the plan.
And that was very important to be open and transparent, but it wasn't exactly like on the first meeting I'm going to say, oh, hi, uncle and auntie, look at how many properties I have and look what I'm doing. Like, I sound like a dick. So yeah, we just had to trust the process and take its natural course.
Yes. And what about vice versa?
My parents are chill, so they were just happy that you make me happy and you as a person just have a different sense of energy, and that energy is what I guess really attracts great people around you as well. So you attracted me as well, so that's good. But yeah, my parents were really chill. You know, as I said, like for them, it was more important about someone that saw me for me, accepted that I am unique in the way I do things. And yeah, so I think for them, they were very open-minded from the beginning. And you met my parents well before I met your parents.
Yeah, I met your parents probably 2-3 years before.
Yeah,
you met my
at least
parents.
a year and a half, I think, before.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So that's how that happened. Next question. What do you not like about Ravi, and what does Ravi not like about you? I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. I think this was definitely more heightened during COVID, and we had just moved in together. And it was that Sanjo had a particular way of doing things, and she then expected other people to do things the same way. And I was like, I'm not wired like that. So, you know, just household duties, the way that.
After all, what do we expect?
There's some guys that, you know, they do well at these sort of things too. But for me, like the way that I view things is just very different. Like I don't view, if you see my room compared to her room, even now is like totally different. I can walk around the mess. You know, my desk is a mess. There's papers, there's things, gadgets everywhere. But for me, like that's chaos, but that's organized chaos in my mind. And I think because the place that we had moved into initially was a lot smaller, it meant that my world was colliding with her world. So yeah, I think that was just growing pains. It was natural. But yeah, I did definitely dislike that. And again, it's just part of growing up and, you know, being in the same environment.
Yeah, I think you sort of answered my thing as well, what I don't like about you. And I've learned to accept it because we're in a bigger apartment now, so I don't actually come into contact with his mess. I'm in my room and my side of the apartment.
It's all in my room.
Yeah, it's all in his room. And then like his bathroom as well. So I'm totally fine with it. I don't have to see it too often. It's not like right in my face, but
correct. And the other thing is, well, like, you know, it's a give and take sort of thing. So I know for a fact that if I could have the opportunity of 15-20 minutes to clean up, I'd rather do that in a shared space, so the kitchen or the living room, because I know that's where Sanjo's going to spend most of her time, instead of using that time to yeah, that's why I do it. That's why my room looks like shit.
Because you're always cleaning the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Okay, this is a question which a lot of people asked. Okay. When is Ravi going to propose?
I was wondering at what point did that question come up?
Yeah.
Look, we've had discussions about this. So I'm 29, I turn 30 in like a few weeks. You're 27, so you don't turn 28 for another 6 months or whatnot. And I think based on what we've discussed.
Yes, we have discussed this.
We have discussed this, yeah.
We're not like shy to talk about this.
Yeah, I think it's important. Like we've been together now, we're living here for 2.5 years together. So I think it's probably going to be at least another 2 years, and probably looking at that sort of 2 to 3 year window. For us, you know, in our minds, we know that this is our life, you know, moving forward. We're definitely committed to this in this partnership. And so for us, the wedding and the ceremonies around that is just a massive event, a party to have people that are close to us.
Yes.
And so in order to do that, we've obviously got to save our money. And right now our priorities are, to build our businesses as well as, invest for ourselves. And then eventually in 2 to 3 years, we'll be able to host a really good party versus a pretty average one now.
Yeah. So to answer your question, when is Ravi going to propose?
Anywhere between the 2 year and 3 year mark. Probably could be less than that.
No, it's not. It's not going to be less than that because no, we've planned to be.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. Like I would say no if you did it tomorrow. Like,
Then I could make a YouTube video about that. She said no.
Okay, next question. Who wears the pants in the relationship? I think I wear the pants in the relationship. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I think we wear the pants in different times of the relationship. So I think when it comes to, this is very sexist, but when it comes to domestic things, household.
I don't think it's sexist. I think, you know what it is we rely on each other's strengths. So for instance, if there's things that you genuinely enjoy more than I do, I'll let you take the lead.
Just cleaning?
No, like with choosing household furniture and things like that, I literally do not care. And so for her, she's like, I've got an aesthetic in mind. I want to go for something like this. I'm not someone to challenge that. The only thing I sort of wanted in this area, or was something I drove, was the TV and the sound system. Apart from that, I'm pretty chill. So if you want to sort of take lead on that, I'm cool with it. And then when it comes to other things, then I'll take more of an initiative on that. And I think that's very important. Like this whole idea of pants in the relationship, as soon as it comes up, it's like, is that against his, it's against his ego and like he should be running it, that sort of shit. I don't know. Like I think that's more to do with their own insecurities. I'm cool with you leading it, even if it's 95% of the time. And then I can kick in whenever I need to. So yeah, I think it's pretty shared.
Cool. Now, how do we make time for each other?
Yeah, believe it or not, despite us, running our own things, we definitely spend a lot of time together.
We do. A lot of people may think that because we live with each other, we work at home, that we are always like in each other's faces, and that could potentially result in like arguments and whatnot. It hasn't, because to be honest, I've got my workspace, Ravi's got his workspace, and we work like we're colleagues. So I would come in at about tea time, he would come in about tea time, then we have our conversation in the kitchen, and then we'll just like piss off, go into our like own little rooms, and then we'll come back out at lunchtime. And honestly, we get a lot of work done. We work as we would work a 9-to-5 job as well. And then we don't see each other as much during the day. But I think towards the end of the night, we try to sort of zone off and we try to have me time. We have dinner together. That's always something that we do.
I think we do like probably 3 to 4 times a week we do lunch together. And then every night we do dinner together if you're here and I'm here.
Yeah.
So we probably have more FaceTime and interactions than most people would. But when it's time to work, or there's things that are spontaneous that needs to happen, we'll go and do those things, because we know it's not like I don't want to spend time with you. It's more so, this is time critical, we'll go do it. But I know that I can spend the next 2-3 hours planning Europe with you. So I think it works. We've got a good balance.
Alrighty, next question we have is favorite food and cuisine. My favorite food is, I like Italian food, I like Thai food, and I like Indian food as well. I like, I like hot and spicy and flavoursome food. That's my absolute favorite. In terms of particular food I love pizza. I actually really love pizza. I like stir fries with lots of flavour, and I like my mum's chicken biryani as well. Oh,
that's to die for. That's so good. Pretty much the same, but my palate is very simple. I don't think it developed since I was 12. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I'll eat like ice cream with ice magic. I'll still have Ben & Jerry's ice cream, when we go out somewhere. For me, I think I'm very simple in terms of my taste buds. And my favorite food is, of course, KFC. I think I definitely got KFC. You into it a lot more. That's like for me a staple. And I know that people have their own thing about KFC and whatnot. I love it. And I've had it overseas and it's not the same. So we definitely need to have it before we go, because I don't know if I can last 5 weeks without it.
Okay, let's think about that. Next question. What is the one thing you love about each other?
Well, there's plenty, but one of the main ones is that you're very caring and understanding. So you will make time to listen if, my day is quite stressful, you'll make time for that. You're also, very considerate. So you'll try and do things that make my life easier. And I think we had conversations about that over the last couple of years. I was like, just if there's anything that you want to do around, me and that makes me happy, it would just be make my life easier. So there's multiple ways you do that, but yeah, that's one of many things.
Oh, okay. Thanks. What I love about you is I think you're really good at giving advice around like everything in terms of managing money, finances, life advice in general, being like my older sister that I never had.
Sisters.
Yeah, we're sisters. I think you're really good at helping people and providing solutions as well is something that I really like. I know a lot of people don't, for example, if they're having a rant or they're having a tough time and they want someone to just listen, they don't want solutions. But for me, I would like solutions and you provide solutions. And I think, I really appreciate that because not many people can give advice on a range of different things. I feel like you're pretty good like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's the one thing I love about.
Oh, it's just one. Okay,
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll take what I can get.
Okay, so now what's the hardest thing about having an online presence and how to deal with it?
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing is one, remaining consistent, but two, being open to the hate. There's plenty of trolls out there, there's plenty of unhappy people out there. So they'll try and pick on one thing out of like a 15-minute video. If you slip up once, they're gonna go after you and attack you on that.
Yeah.
I think we deal with it a lot better, and it helps that we're both in that environment.
Yeah.
So we can definitely understand each other a lot more when those things happen. But it affects everyone. It doesn't matter how big you are. We look at other creators as well that are have million plus followers and they still get affected by those comments. So it's that age-old saying, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. And I think on the internet you have keyboard warriors that sit there behind like fake avatars and fake names that they can say whatever they like, and they're just projecting out their own negativity. So that's probably the hardest part, but I think we've known how to deal with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think initially definitely was really hard. There were a lot of comments which I took personal offense to, and at the end of the day, you put yourself out there. Not everyone's gonna like you, and there are gonna be people that don't like what you say, what you stand for, and that's totally fine. You're not here to please everyone, and I think it is just what it is. And
it goes beyond just online. Like, you could walk into a room and there's a high percentage of people that just won't like you from the word go. They haven't spoken to you, they've just seen you, or they've heard about you. You could walk into that room even now, and it happens to you guys as well, where you would walk in and there's certain people that just don't like you. So that's the same, but it's probably amplified online, and people can actually say what they're thinking, but behind a fake avatar. So it gets a bit more in depth.
Yeah, it's good we've sort of got each other and we can rely on each other and help each other and take care of each other and love each other.
No.
Okay, so those are all of the questions that we're going to answer for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and we might do this again in a couple of months' time.
Yeah.
And you will see more of Ravi on my vlogs, because you guys always say you don't get to see him much on my vlogs. That's because he's
camera shy.
Camera shy.
I'm not camera shy, so I'm really busy, Okay. But we're going to Europe, so we're definitely going to be, vlogging a lot more here and on TikTok. So definitely go check out your TikTok.
Yes.
And if you want to know about property stuff, then you can go to my channel.
Yeah, and I think people should know about property.
Or finance, whatever.
It's good to know about finance in general as well. So check that out. I will leave everything down in the description box below. But thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you guys, or I'll catch you guys in my next video.
See you later, guys.